Good day, good day, good day, and welcome back to another episode of Just for the Record. Today we have Miss Nemmy Jackson, who's going to share with us all her plans and her insight as to why she is contesting a seat in the 35th legislature. Welcome, Ms. Jackson. How are you today?
Good day, Mr. Grant. Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate Zeta Phi Beta Sigma for the opportunity to express and share with the audience what I intend to do with the collaboration of my colleagues.
Excellent. So you are seeking a seat in the St. Croix district of the 35th legislature of the Virgin Islands. For those who might not know, who is Nemmy Jackson?
Nemmy Jackson stands on the foundation of her parents, Glenn Williams, who have served this community in the Department of Public Works for over 30 years, and Evelyn Williams, who has served this community both at Charles Howard Hospital and Wang Louis Hospital as a nurse, and the community of Grove Place. She also stands on the foundation of her husband, Raphael Kenny Jackson, her daughter, Natalia Felix, her son, Raphael III, and her grandchildren. All makes up who she really is. Nemmy Jackson is a product of the public school system, who from a very young age knew that she enjoyed sharing her passion with the community, and also loved athletics. So if you look in my high school yearbook, you will notice that since then I did say I wanted to be a teacher, and I did become a teacher, began teaching physical education, which is my passion, and through teaching I have shared many lessons with my students that they'll be able to utilize for a lifetime. I've served this community also as Deputy Commissioner of the then Department of Housing, Parks and Recreation, now Sports Park and Recreation. And through my leadership there, we implemented the athletic sporting program, and I'm proud today to say that that is still in existence. We have lots more to be done. I've served this community both in the federal and local government, and while serving as a teacher and as a 204B supervisor in the federal government, one thing that's unique is my colleague voted for me to serve as their union representative. So there again, I demonstrated my worth and my passion for helping people and assisting people. I'm involved in so many community-based organizations, Brownlee Berkeley Auxiliary, I'm a Rotarian, and I also give back by serving this community as a coach. I've coached Little League, volleyball, and basketball athletes, and while coaching I have assured many of them receive the same opportunity that I did, an athletic scholarship to attend college. And I am honored to be here, and I give myself to the community again, coming to you to seek and petition for your support in the 35th legislature. As a senator, my number is number 15. I am asking for your support this election, and thank you for that opportunity.
Okay, excellent. So you have from what you just explained, there's a depth and breadth to your experience. So what would your former colleagues say about you?
Well, on my colleagues and just people in the community, and if you have heard those individuals who have been publicly endorsing me, they utilize the word as compassionate, caring, an individual who will not just accept the status quo, but be there and question those individuals who are presently in office, and assured and fight for just policies that will benefit the masses and work out for the best for all of us.
Okay, so then tell me, using 3 words to describe yourself, what are those 3 words?
Compassionate, caring, and conscientious.
Passionate, caring, and conscientious. So then what value do you think you would bring to the 35th legislature?
I've been a team player all my life. I've participated in many team organizations, and in order for anything to happen in the 35th, all of us have our blueprint. So all of us have qualities we can bring to the table. So my ability to work as a team to get the job done, my strength in being a team player is something that I would definitely say that I can contribute to the legislature. And in addition to just being someone who appreciates health and wellness, and from that vantage point, I want to assure and advocate as a senator for us to continue to address health from a preventative standpoint instead of a reactive care standpoint.
Okay, so given that, what do you think are the 3 issues facing the Virgin Islands, with particular St. Croix, because you are running in the St. Croix district?
Yes, and through having, thank you so much for that question, but through having conversations with members of this community, my platform derived from those conversations, and education, healthcare, and strengthening the economy are the 3 areas which those individuals, the majority of the individuals that I've had conversation with, expressed as being the main concern in the St. Croix district.
Okay, so if you were given the opportunity to serve as chair of a committee in the legislature, which one would it be and why?
When I am elected, I will petition to be the chair of Sports Park and Recreation, because in my platform, and not only in my platform, but in my life, I have developed strength in that area, and I feel that, you know, I have the capacity to work with the individual who is elected in the second branch of government to really begin the foundation of building sports tourism here in the Virgin Islands, and specifically on St. Croix.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that the 3 tenets possibly of your platform would be education, healthcare, and the economy. So let's dive into those. With regards to education, public education, you mentioned being a public education student and being a teacher. What is your opinion on the current state of public education in the territory, and what specifically would you do to address that current state?
Thank you for that question, but what I'll do is something that I know that have been started. I am presently coordinator of health and physical education in the St. Croix district, and I am an advocate for standard-based delivery of instruction. For far too long, in teachers and parents and students, excuse me, not teachers, you know, have been looking at quality teachers in order to put their students or their child in that classroom. So we will no longer have to look at who's delivering the lesson, because if you're delivering the lesson based on standards, no matter where your child goes to school in the Virgin Islands, no matter who is sitting in the front of the classroom, you will know that these are the standards that the child should leave that grade knowing. The teachers will still have the freedom to choose the methodology in which they are going to deliver the instruction, but when you deliver instruction based on standard, no matter where you are, no matter what district, what school, once you know the standard as a parent, you know exactly what your child should be learning and when they should be learning it. So I will be one to work with the second branch of government to make sure that our teachers have the tools and resources necessary in order to deliver standard-based instruction, and not instruction based on what every individual in front of the classroom deem is important for your child to know.
Okay, so having been a teacher also, identify one strength and one weakness of the public education system and expound on how we can build and improve on the strengths and the weakness mentioned.
One of the weaknesses, and I'll start by that,
okay,
is the ability of both the first and second branch of government to maintain our schools and make them conducive for learning. I feel superintendents should be tasked with worrying and being concerned about the delivery of instruction and the educational level of our students, and not the maintenance of our school. So I feel separating the maintenance of our school and having a division with experts who are qualified in actually upkeeping our school will be something that I will advocate for, instead of having that task also be under superintendent whose expertise is about the educational level of our students. One of the strengths that we have, and I am going to say as an educator, we have wonderful teachers, individuals in front of our classroom who truly care for our students, who want to see our students succeed. And what we need to do is assure that they have the resources so that they can be the best that they can be in front of those students and deliver the instruction that they know the students direly need.
Okay. What programs would you legislate for training, career, and technical education and employment opportunities for the youth?
For our children, I'm not, legislate, I'm not sure about that. Or when I say I'm not sure, we have the Board of Education and the board for our career students, the vocational board. So I would advocate and support a strengthening of our vocational program, being that the last hurricane, all of us recognize that skilled workers are missing in our community. So advocating and strengthening that area is important. As a legislator, I will assure that I'll be at the table fighting for the resources necessary in order to strengthen that area, making sure that the finances are there to give incentives for individuals to come into our public school system and be in a position to deliver instruction in those career fields.
Okay, so let's change gears a bit. What is your opinion on the current state of healthcare in the territory, and what specifically would you do to address the current state of healthcare?
What I've been doing is, in my capacity now as a regular citizen and being a cancer survivor, and realizing that had I known what I know now before, I might have never become a survivor. I probably it would have spared me being a cancer survivor. So what I started every Saturday from 7 to 8, I actually empower members of our community with information that would encourage them to live a better life, to take care of their bodies. I'm trying to remember exactly the question that you asked, Rick, but
what is the current state of healthcare?
Okay, yes, okay. All of us know that healthcare are resources that should be available to everyone, regardless. And right now, we can do better. We can do much better. I am one not to accept the status quo, but always work to improving the situation. And from the information I've received, we are going to have a state-of-the-art facility once it is open. So in my capacity as your senator, I will assure that resources are there to give incentives to qualified nurse, to help our students who are presently in a nurse program, give incentives to them, additional training, so that we can retain what we have and recruit more individuals to deliver that service that our people so dire need, and help our people to have confidence in our healthcare system, to stay here and seek healthcare here, so that the money that they receive here can stay here in order for us to grow.
Okay. Along the lines of health, what is your position on mental health services in the Virgin Islands?
We need to do better. Last time I checked, we had one psychiatrist on island. And like I've said over and over, we need to approach health from a preventative standpoint. I've been saying this and I'm serious about it. I've written to the Board of Education, encouraging them to start health education at a younger age. We tend to react and to start to take care of our children when they become adults and try to help their mental state is a little late. So we need to start teaching our young children from kindergarten, from the time they enter school or even before, how to take care of themselves, how to address stress, how to handle mental challenges, how to handle disappointments. All of those things affect your mental state. We need to address health care from a preventative standpoint so that our people can be well, whether it's mental, social, or physical health. All of it are equally important for the well-being of this community, and the health of our community is at a challenging state because based on information, based on the data, we are becoming ill with chronic disease at a younger age, whether it be diabetes, hypertension, or even cancer. So we need to make sure that we emphasize in preventative care and in all aspects of health, not only mental health.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
I am Eustace Grant Jr., also known as the Don Lee. I was diagnosed with stage 2 prostate cancer on August 31st, 2017. That moment changed my life. The hardest part of the experience was the thought of not being here to see my children and grandchild grow. Luckily, my family and support team were real. They had food sales to show their support. My prayer warriors and doctors were phenomenal. Do I encourage men to get screened for prostate cancer? The answer is an absolute yes. If you are an African American male with a family history of prostate cancer, you should begin screening at age 40. If you are unsure about screening, talk to your doctor to decide if screening is right for you. This message was brought to you by the Department of Health, Division of Chronic Disease and Prevention.
Hi, I'm Sherida. So I am here at Miss Naturalista. I am here on the Big Island of St. Croix. Not the first time, but my first time here at Miss Naturalista. They have been in business for 10 years. They sell everything, and I can't wait to see what they have.
Hi, welcome to Miss Naturalista.
Even though I personally don't have locks and I'm a loose natural, I know sometimes people with locks can feel overlooked in the hustle and bustle that is the natural hair community. So the fact that this store has products for people with locks is beautiful to me. Wow, it's an entire DIY section. A hot head. I tell you, this place has everything. I love using my hot head for my pre-poo. If you don't know what a pre-poo is, it's basically just throwing conditioner on your hair before you shampoo or do a co-wash. Just gets it nice and warm with this. It deeply penetrates into your hair strands. It gives you the conditioning that you need. I love it. I love using this for that, and I highly recommend it. And it's right here at Miss Naturalista.
Welcome back to Just for the Record. Ms. Jackson, so let's continue with the conversation. What does good governance mean to you, and how have you contributed to this ideal in the territory?
Good governance is so important. Government should work for the people and be for the people. And as long as the agencies responsible for delivering that service to our people and deliver it with care, empathy, and compassion, individuals who are responsible, being held accountable, and the service is transparent, I will encompass that as good governance.
Good. As a government, how can we prevent brain drain in the Virgin Islands?
One thing we can do for sure is see how we can offer compatible salary. You know, our young people know their worth And once the salaries are not where they should be relevant to them, they will be going. And not only that, we need to assure that our educational system is working in tandem with the community needs. Once that is happening, our students will be more incentivized, they'll be more likely to transition from school, whether it be high school or college, to work in our community. And also our community, as a community, not as individual, we need to embrace and welcome our young people, as well as they need to embrace those who have served before them. Once we can bring that together and show that, you know, we appreciate each other for you coming on as a novice and me being there to share my wisdom, you know, I think that will help.
Okay. Let's switch gears again to the economy. What are two untapped economic development opportunities that you feel that are underdeveloped? And then what is your plan to contribute to the development of these industries?
Well, you said two. Non-polluting manufacturing companies, like for instance, we had the watch factories. We need to tap back into those types of services. And one that I've been promoting, sports tourism. We need to have a foundation where we can develop sports tourism here and utilize being a U.S. territory in the Caribbean to build sports tourism. Many of our people away from here would love to visit here. We need to give them a purpose. Sports tourism not only help us bring money here. When individuals come here, they bring the money, they spend it in our community, our businesses flourishes. It opens up for job opportunities for our community members. It decreases crime because we have more jobs out there for our people, and it also enhances the opportunity for national pride and enhances our ability to build social health. So I will be one pushing the development of sports and where we can use it as an industry to build our economy.
Okay. What support do you feel is lacking for small businesses in the territory, and what measures can be implemented to address this matter?
Financial support. The microloan has been something that was developed a while back, and right now that incentive sits at $50,000. $50,000 as an incentive to small businesses is nothing. The dollar value when that was created was much larger than it now. A dollar value now is nothing. So I will be one to advocate the increase of $50,000 for the microloan for small businesses, where it'll give individual a big foundation of resources to help their business and also set the foundation right to build their business. And I mean, another incentive also is the incentive with the gross receipt tax. I cannot recall exactly how much it is, but that also needs to be increased in order to give our businesses an opportunity to set that strong foundation and grow, hence help our community.
Okay. Would you support legislative approval of all federal grant spending plans to the territory? Why or why not?
The spending plan relative to the second branch of government?
To local and federal expenditures. So specifically the federal expenditures.
Of course. Getting federal money is important for this territory. It opens up for us to use local funds in other areas where we might not have the opportunity to use local fund for. So of course I support and I advocate for as much federal funding we can get in order to deliver the services that our people direly need.
Okay. The agriculture industry of the Virgin Islands has not seen its fullest potential. Yet, every election year, agriculture is part of many platforms. How can you move agriculture from a talking point to a lucrative stake in the ground?
I will work with my colleague to strengthen the regulations for farmers and farmland. Everyone that receives land cannot focus on all produce. We need to strengthen it by having a collective plan, and I know they have a plan now to build agriculture, but I will support identifying produce that we can actually build here, add and create value added substance of, so that we can start supplying our local supermarket. And once we build that, then I would advocate for strengthening it more and taking it further. But we need to make sure that what produce we have here, we can grow here and create value added product for. We need to make sure the resources are there to help our farmers to assure that these things can be done.
Okay. What can the St. Croix district particularly expect from you within the first 30 days, 90 days, and then 100 days after being in office?
First 30 days, regardless of the knowledge you bring, I'll be a first-time senator. I'll be a novice. So I'll be, as I'm doing now, trying to learn as much as I can learn to strengthen my ability to deliver the services that is so needed from the first branch of government. First 30 days, I will be really on hand, finding out as much as I can find out, crafting legislation as I am doing now, as I am campaigning, so that when I elected, I will be able to submit legislation such as the health advisory, the Child Health Advisory Board legislation, such as the enhancement of the microloan amount that I spoke about earlier. So I'll be working with my colleague, and I'm definitely collaborating with my colleague and seeing firsthand exactly what is necessary in order for you to bring those needed legislation so that the masses can feel whatever work is passed by the legislation, because nothing can be done by myself. So it's so important that when you go in there, you collaborate with all those individuals, not only St. Croix senators, but St. Thomas senators, to make sure that you can network and know who is a supportive, truly, of bringing good quality legislation for the people of the Virgin Islands.
Okay. Earlier you mentioned being a physical education teacher, and now I didn't like phys ed at all, but it's a necessary part of the education system. What do you think your experience as being a physical education teacher has taught you that's preparing you to work in a group? Because sports is a group sport.
Most of them.
Most of it. So what has that experience taught you to now be able to be effective in the legislature?
Like I said, being a team player, right now in my capacity as Administrator Coordinator of Health and Physical Education for the entire District of St. Croix, I am still a part of a team. And it is so important that you understand that the makeup of the legislature is the way it is, because we all bring our blueprint to the front in order to accomplish the task at hand. So being a physical education teacher, being an athlete, has strengthened my ability to work with individuals in order to realize the end result, which is better service, better health care, better education, affordable housing for the people of the Virgin Islands.
Okay. At the end of your first term, what can residents and voters see as the results of your work? What will your legacy be?
You know, that's a tough question because it all depends on all the team player. And like I've said, what I bring will be what I can convince my colleague to buy into. Building sports tourism is something that I want to really champion, and setting the foundation to strengthen sports tourism here in the territory is something that I'll really be advocating for and pushing.
Okay, Ms. Jackson, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to have you look on over to the camera and tell the people of St. Croix why Nemmy Jackson.
Why Nemmy Jackson? Because Nemmy Jackson didn't just come to you during election season with makeup on to pretend to be what she isn't. I'm compassionate. I've demonstrated empathy all my life, and I've demonstrated my care for the success of our people. I have served this community. Many students have realized success because of the services I've given, like receiving athletic scholarship to attend college, some of them returning home and contributing back into this community. I'm a Bromley-Berkeley member because I care about the veterans. I am an educator because I understand that our children are the key to our future advancement. I'm a Rotarian because I care about members of this community, particularly our seniors. And I am part of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, a service-oriented organization who have demonstrated their care and concern for this community. I know that I will bring strong leadership to the legislature. I petition you for your support. I am Nemmy Jackson, number 15 on your ballot. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jackson. Folks, there you have it. This was another episode of Just for the Record. See you next time.
Come to Tire Kingdom. Come to Tire Kingdom. When you need tires for your car, come to Tire Kingdom. For your SUV or your trailer, come to Tire Kingdom. We have every brand in every size. Come to Tire Kingdom. Lowest prices in the Virgin Islands.
Hey, had some great service over here at Tire Kingdom with Mike. Did a really good job. The 2 brand new tires were very cheap. Definitely recommend them. 30 minutes in and out.
Tire Kingdom número 1 en San Tomás, Villan Island.
The best service that will make you smile. Any tire you need, we've got them all. Right at the entrance of Tutu Mall. That is Tire Kingdom. At Tire Kingdom, we're #1, best prices and largest selection. Call 776-3400. We will be glad to help you. So shop at Tire Kingdom. The best prices, largest selection. We are #1 at Tire Kingdom. Come ride with the winner.
I vote.
I vote.
I vote.
I vote. I vote.
I vote because I care too much about these great Virgin Islands to leave it in the hands of just anyone. My vote is my choice and my voice.
I vote because I want someone in office who shares my perspective on the issues.
I vote because I believe in the democratic process and I want my voice to be heard.
I vote for a better tomorrow.
I vote because I refuse to remain silent on critical issues that affect us as Virgin Islanders. I truly believe it is through voting that we can effectuate the changes necessary in the Virgin Islands that will guide us through prosperity.
I vote.
I vote.
I vote.
I vote.
I vote.